The history of the Taj Mahal. At the heart of India, on the banks of the Yamuna River in Agra, stands the Taj Mahal, a monument that has captivated the world for nearly 4 centuries. A structure of white marble that seems to glow with the changing light of the day. A symbol of love, a masterpiece of architecture, a witness to empire, ambition, grief, and time. This is the story of the Taj Mahal. But behind its beauty lies a powerful human story, a story of devotion, loss, political power, artistic brilliance, and the rise and fall of an empire. To understand the Taj Mahal, we must travel back to the 17th century, into the world of the Mughal Empire. The rise of the Mughal Empire. In 1526, a Central Asian ruler named Babur defeated the Sultan of Delhi at the First Battle of Panipat and founded what would become one of the richest empires in the world, the Mughal Empire. Over the next century, powerful rulers like Akbar and Jahangir expanded the empire across most of the Indian subcontinent. They built magnificent cities, encouraged international trade, supported literature and painting, and developed a court culture that blended Persian, Islamic, and Indian traditions. By the early 1600s, the Mughal Empire was at its peak, wealthy, stable, and architecturally ambitious. And it was during this golden age that a prince named Khurram was born. He would later be known to history as Shah Jahan. A Prince and His Beloved. In 1607, Prince Khurram met a young noblewoman named Arjamand Banu Begum. It was said to be love at first sight. They were married in 1612. After their marriage, she was given the title Mumtaz Mahal, meaning chosen one of the palace. Though Shah Jahan had other wives, Mumtaz Mahal became his closest companion and trusted advisor. She traveled with him on military campaigns, she was present in court discussions. She gave him 14 children over 19 years of marriage. Their bond was deep and unusual for a royal marriage of that era. But in 1631, tragedy struck. While accompanying Shah Jahan during a military campaign in the Deccan region, Mumtaz Mahal died during childbirth. She was only 38 years old. Shah Jahan was devastated. Court chronicles describe him withdrawing from public life for months. His hair reportedly turned gray almost overnight. He mourned deeply. And in his grief, he made a promise: to build a monument that would honor her memory forever. The vision of an eternal mausoleum. In 1632, construction began on what would become the Taj Mahal. The chosen location was Agra, then the capital of the Mughal Empire, along the banks of the Yamuna River. The project was massive in scale, not just a tomb, but an entire architectural complex. The design is widely attributed to Ustad Ahmad Lahori, though it involved a team of master architects, calligraphers, engineers, and artisans from across the empire and beyond. More than 20,000 craftsmen and laborers were employed. Architects and artists came from Persia, Central Asia, and the Ottoman world. White marble was transported from Makrana in Rajasthan. Precious stones came from Tibet, China, Afghanistan, and Sri Lanka. It was not simply a building, it was an imperial statement. Architectural perfection. The Taj Mahal is a masterpiece of symmetry. At its center stands the great white marble mausoleum, crowned by a massive onion-shaped dome rising over 240 feet into the sky. 4 slender minarets stand at each corner of the platform. Interestingly, they tilt slightly outward, designed so that in the event of an earthquake, they would fall away from the tomb. The structure is perfectly balanced. Every arch mirrors another. Every detail has a counterpart. The gardens follow the Persian charbagh layout, divided into 4 sections, symbolizing the rivers of paradise described in Islamic tradition. The white marble walls are decorated with intricate floral patterns created using pietra dura, delicate inlay work made from semi-precious stones. Verses from the Quran adorn the grand entrance, executed by the master calligrapher Amanat Khan. The script subtly increases in size toward the top, creating the illusion of uniform proportion when viewed from below. Inside the mausoleum lie 2 cenotaphs, symbolic tombs of Mumtaz Mahal and Shah Jahan. The actual graves rest in a lower chamber beneath them. Construction of the main tomb was completed around 1643. The entire complex took approximately 22 years to finish.
Power, politics, and imprisonment. But while the Taj Mahal was rising in marble, political tensions were rising within the empire. In 1658, Shah Jahan fell seriously ill. His sons fought for the throne in a brutal war of succession. The victor was Aurangzeb. Aurangzeb imprisoned his father in Agra fort, just across the river from the Taj Mahal. For the last 8 years of his life, Shah Jahan lived confined in a marble chamber, purportedly with a view of the monument he built for his beloved wife. In 1666, he died. He was laid to rest beside Mumtaz Mahal. Ironically, his tomb is the only element in the entire complex that breaks its perfect symmetry. Decline and colonial rule. As the Mughal Empire declined in the 18th century, the Taj Mahal suffered neglect. By the time the British East India Company controlled much of India, parts of the monument had deteriorated. Some precious stones were removed. The gardens were altered to resemble English lawns instead of the original Mughal design. In the early 20th century, British Viceroy Lord Curzon ordered major restoration efforts to preserve the monument. Without these efforts, the Taj Mahal might have faced far greater damage. Modern India and global icon. As India gained independence in 1947, the Taj Mahal became a national treasure and a symbol of Indian heritage. In 1983, it was designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Today, millions of visitors from around the world come each year to witness its beauty. But preservation remains a challenge. Air pollution has caused discoloration of the marble. Industrial emissions and environmental changes threaten the structure. To combat this, the Indian government established the Taj Trapezium Zone to regulate pollution around the monument. Even in modern times, the Taj Mahal demands protection. Myths and legends. Over the centuries, many legends have grown around the Taj Mahal. One popular story claims Shah Jahan planned to build a second identical mausoleum in black marble across the river, a so-called Black Taj Mahal. Archaeological evidence suggests this is likely a myth. Another tale claims Shah Jahan ordered the hands of the artisans cut off so they could never replicate its beauty. Historians find no reliable evidence to support this claim. Yet these myths continue, perhaps because the monument feels almost too perfect to be real. What the Taj Mahal really represents. The Taj Mahal is often called a symbol of eternal love, and yes, it was built from grief. But it is something more.
It represents the power of empire, the wealth of a golden age, the skill of thousands of unnamed craftsmen. The blending of cultures, Persian, Indian, Islamic, and Central Asian. It is architecture used as emotion. It is marble shaped into memory. It is history preserved in stone. Conclusion. As the sun sets, the white marble turns gold. At night, under the moonlight, it glows silver. 4 centuries have passed. Empires have fallen. Rulers have come and gone. But the Taj Mahal still stands. Not just as a tomb, not just as a monument, but as a reminder that even in an age of conquest and power, one emperor chose to build something born from love. And in doing so, he created one of the greatest architectural masterpieces the world has ever seen. This is the Taj Mahal, and this is its story.